How do I look? Good. I'm a very apt pupil. A very apt pupil. Here, take my phone. Call for help the moment something looks fishy. Shoot. Right? I did, yes. Right, it was her. Yes, and? Listen, there's something at the end of this road that you don't want to find. You do, and you don't. If you only wanted to find it, there wouldn't be all this conflict. Drivers lying to you, drugging you with raisins, all the little glitches, things that don't make sense, the static. It's hardly been a smooth ride, has it? I'm just saying, there are two sides to every story, right? The argument back at the diner, maybe there was something missing for her. Something missing between the two of you. Fine. We can continue barreling along the highway if that's what your photos tell you. So, what did you learn back there from your photo? Oh? Oh, you have my phone. Why don't you call it then? And you think he's also this man with all the eyes? Hey, you said he has 10 of them, right? Have another look at that card. 10 little eyes. See? See him? Freaky, right? Well, almost there now. Time to get in character. Sure, I can't see a thing. What gives? I can't. The car is jammed somehow. What the hell? Watch it, buddy.
Hello. Copernicus? Is that you? Let me guess. You've gotten yourself into some kind of jam, swinging by your toes over a tiger cage? Locked in a trunk? That doesn't sound like part of your dream. How'd you manage that? Well, don't say I didn't warn you. You've sworn to deceive me, Vern. I'm going to feed the birds now. I want to know the truth. Look where that got you. Speaking of which, did you find the box, Copernicus? Have you opened it yet? Figure out a way to open that box, Copernicus. Inside, you'll find out who you really are. Don't mess with him, kid. He's the final gatekeeper. Way too strong. You need to learn the spell first, before you can go up against him. Hey, if I knew it, I'd tell you. But let's start by getting you out of that box. Lucky for you, I've got my Farmer's Almanac here. Let's have a look. Hang on. C, cabbage, caraway, carrot, car trunk. First thing you should do is reach around for the latch. Sounds kind of obvious. Okay, next step. See if you can scare up the brake lights. Can you find them? It's a little gizmo with some wires. Okay. Yank on the wires and try to pull the lights into the trunk with you. Got them? What color are the lights? We need a green light, kid. A steady green light. That's the way forward. Gotta run now. Good luck to you, kid.
ما أدري شو تسوي بسيارتي، بس من خبرتي بهذا المكان راح تسح بعدين. إنجليش؟ آسف، ما أدري هاي مو صدق، بس أنا أشعر بيه كاني من صدق حجة سعر. كل شيء هنا إلها دلالة رمزية، السترن، الجير ولا القرن على الدشبول. هسه حتى لو أحد إيدي من السترن، السيارة من كيف تمشي عدل؟ إيه معود على كيفك، أريد أوقف. Puedes ver en magueses brindas totelos tu dromo. Puedes ver el horizonte allí over tu nose. Pamić wypległa nadzieja, opepa mnie do przodu. Dzieja nam. Do przodu, gwiazdy na niebie świecą mi dzieja. Orima horizonte allí el camino. Tu droga, gananos por el norte al final del camino. He oído que el cielo está tan bajo, en la valle se equivocan hasta decir. Gwiazdy na niebie venu de terre me montrent le villages night. I'm sitting here, my gaze is drifting over the horizon. How would I know? It's not even my car. No idea. I find myself behind the wheel here night after night. And the trunk, that's my dream too. You don't want to know how many hours I've spent in there, trying to shift my legs to keep them from falling asleep. Why should I know? What makes you think you can turn up out of thin air and interrogate me? Who are you anyway? Now I know you must be an English speaker. The only people in the world convinced that every story revolves around them. Who are you anyway? I'm not sure actually. But here, it's funny. On this highway, everybody calls me Al-Shatir. Copernicus, huh? Suddenly, this doesn't seem so arbitrary. Never heard of Ibn al-Shatir? A famous astronomer. I guess you don't learn about him in your schools. One of the forefathers of astronomy, in many ways a predecessor to... Yes, that's right. Copernicus, Al-Shatir. Two iconoclasts from different lands who challenged the belief that the sun revolves around the earth. Two dreamers who had the conviction that their unique consciousness is not the only thing in the center of the universe. Maybe you're not just part of my story, like I'm not part of yours. You were trapped in the trunk, where I've been many times. It's like you've wandered into my dream, and I've wandered into yours. How should I know? Somehow the streams have crossed. Disturbance in space-time continuum. Me? Yes, safety. A place far away from wars. From bombings. From the cockroaches that crawl out as soon as the dust settles. On the news, you hear only about armies and religious madmen. But it's the gangsters that drove me away. They're the ones who did this to me. I'm one of the ones who didn't make it. Not all the way. I'm stranded somewhere in between, trying to complete the journey every night in my sleep. The El Mahdi army. They called themselves an army anyway. They were looking for my brother-in-law, because he worked as a translator for the US military. Neighbors warned us we should move, and so we did, twice. Luckily, no. He was safe with the army, beyond their reach. A few years passed and we forgot about the threat. Life had returned to normal. And that's when they came back and picked me up. 2 days later, when I woke up in a Baghdad hospital, I found out that they dumped me off there and told the hospital that I'd hurt myself in a work accident. Yes, after that, I couldn't stay. The women in my family, my mother, my sisters, they were the only ones who knew. I got on a plane to Istanbul, where my cousin lived. He took me to Izmir, where the smugglers are. They're easy to find. I bought a space on a vessel, headed to Mytilene, Greece, the closest harbor in Europe. Just a simple raft, but not as overcrowded as in some of the stories you hear. I was lucky, at least in the beginning. We couldn't leave for 5 days. Too many Greek army ships in the sea. Every morning, getting up at 3:30 to make a go of it. By the 5th day, I was so tired of waiting that I wasn't even scared to get on board any longer. Finally, impatience had overtaken fear. We did not make it to Europe. A boat pulls up next to us. People are trying to understand what's going on, but the men on the ship only speak Greek. At first, people are worried that it's pirates. They take everything from the passengers. Sometimes take the passengers themselves. Sometimes just ram the boat and laugh as it sinks. But no. These are police, it turns out. They take us back to Turkey, where I'm waiting, and waiting, and waiting. Of course, I did not remember all this in my dreams at first. These were things I remembered from clues I found along the highway. What is your dream about? A breakup? That's it? Ah, that's more like it. Who has been kidnapped? Who's this person that's been taken away from you? Do you have a photo? Who knows? Maybe I've seen her somewhere along this highway. I know her. The same woman, but with different hair color. I just saw her at the gas station a few miles back. A decoy? What kind of game are you playing here? I'd say you're lucky nobody got hurt. You sure? Didn't she also warn you that you're the one pulling the strings here? Well, that's their motto at Dante's. Customer is always right. They say that to all the patrons there. But listen, did she ask you to let her change forms? To assume a different identity? And what did you say? That's right. How do I put this? In this place, it's important to see things for what they really are. Keep them pinned down. The moment you start shifting things around to suit your needs, well, you're like Pandora, opening the box. There was a scene there at the gas station. She was being questioned by two men. She seemed to be explaining herself, pointing at the empty passenger seat in her car. They didn't really seem interested in her, though. They were more interested in the empty car seat.